You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young, and today we're talking with Cassidy Morgan, co-founder of Buggsly, which is a Canadian-based, eco-friendly accessories and apparel company for pets. Now that's a mouthful, but Buggsly has a lot of wonderful products that I want Cassidy to tell us about. But first, the bills have to be paid. So let's take a short break for a commercial message, and we'll be right back.
It's dinner time in America, where more pet parents trust PetSmart for natural and expert-recommended foods than any place else. And now, we've added more than 100 new varieties to our already wide selection of your favorite brands, like Simply Nourish, Authority, Wellness, Science Diet, and more. Do what's best for your pet. At PetSmart, happiness in store.
Go to PetSmartDeal.com to find out this week's coupon code and save up to 30% on food, treats, toys, and more. And get free shipping on orders of $49. Go to PetSmartDeal.com, PetSmartDeal.com.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome! Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young, and we're talking today with Cassidy Morgan of Buggsly, a wonderful eco-friendly accessories and apparel brand for pets. Welcome, Cassidy.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing today?
Oh, pretty good, thanks. How about you?
Good, doing well. So Buggsly is a really cute name for a company, and it's kind of unusual. Where did that come from?
Well, oddly enough, and I mean maybe not oddly enough, it came from the dog, our dog that we started the company because of. So Buggsly is my dog that I've had for about a year and a half now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What kind of dog is he?
He is a bug, in fact. For those of you who don't know, bugs are half Boston Terriers and half pugs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
there you go. That all makes sense.
They're a pretty interesting breed. You know, they have the energy and craziness of Boston Terriers, but they're also really great at hanging out and cuddling and just chilling like pugs. So I like to think of Bugs as like the perfect dog.
Aw, he is very cute.
But I may also be a little bit biased. Yeah, he's awesome. But no, we got him when he was about 4 weeks old. He had been adopted. He was rescued by a family who took him into their home. And I guess after maybe having him for about a week, they figured that he wasn't really the dog for them. So they sent him back to the shelter, and we picked him up from there, and he's been with us ever since.
Well, lucky for you and for Buggsly.
Totally. He's a great
I always
guy.
feel that, pets find the humans that they're supposed to be with. So sometimes it takes a couple go-rounds, but...
Yeah, I think so. My partner likes to think of Buggsly as our angel. So, you get a dog and you hang out with them and you get to know them and you kind of start to feel that way.
Absolutely. We can all relate. Yeah, absolutely. The thing that I found really interesting, besides some of the great designs about Buggsly, is that you're an eco-friendly company, and you sort of launched with your Dapper Dog label of these natty bow ties, which you were kind enough to send Jasper, our new rescue. Beautiful on him, so thank you for that. But you have lots and lots of colors and prints in these bow ties. Tell us a little bit about them and their eco-friendly aspect.
Sure. Well, we started the Dapper Dog line because at Buggsly's first birthday, which we, of course, threw a party for, A friend of mine brought him a bow tie from a local store here in Vancouver. And, it was funny. We put it on. I'd never seen a dog in a bow tie before, and everyone was just obsessed with seeing this dog in a bow tie. So, I thought about it afterwards, and I thought, well, why can't we do something like that? And, I love wearing bow ties myself, so it was a really awesome thing to be able to do for Buggsly.
Perfect.
The thing is, we wanted to do this and, create something really fun for dogs and their owners to do, but we wanted to make sure that we were not damaging the planet, or at least doing as much good for the planet as we could at the same time. Being from Vancouver, a lot of companies here are really pushing for that eco-friendly and sustainable, brand messaging.
Right.
So we started sourcing fabric, and our factory that we have here in Vancouver, they recommended that we check out this local fabric swap called Our Social Fabric. And what they do is they partner with a bunch of local designers, and they collect end-of-the-roll or scrap fabric, and then they resell it to other designers in the area. So we started collecting this recycled fabric that would otherwise, go into our landfills and accumulate over the years. And we started making some really, fun and cool stuff out of something that would otherwise be discarded.
What a wonderful, wonderful idea. Really, it works for everybody. They get to monetize the scraps. We are kind to the planet, and designers get some very, very cool fabrics, and you don't have to buy. Sometimes, these fabric companies have minimums, and we don't necessarily, especially for smaller companies, need to have quite so much. So you get to buy just what you need. Plus, I love the fact that it's limited edition, too.
Yeah, because we were using limited supplies of fabric, we can only produce so many of them. And it's insane the amount of fabric that gets discarded when people make anything really, corners of fabric, edges of fabric. A lot gets accumulated. So I like to think of it as breathing life into something, that would otherwise be dead.
That's beautiful. I like that.
Yeah.
You also have these really cool whimsical prints that I love, like cars on the bow ties, or spelling bee with these little letters, or Mickey Mouse, or the cartoon captions. What inspires the designs? Or it's just kind of the feel that you get when you go and you look at these fabrics and you decide, well, this would make a great bow tie.
Well, that's kind of it, yeah. But, Dapper Dog is all about having fun with your dog. So whenever we're looking for fabrics, we look for something, that has a personality to it. Because in the end, we grab these prints and we make bow ties out of them. But it's really all about, the individual buying them. It's about them showing off their personality, through these prints and through their dog. So it's really just looking at what's available and finding some of the more fun and, I guess, personality-infused prints.
Right. And they're very cute. I also love that because they're limited edition, you actually number them like artwork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Well, aside from, having something that dog owners could go and have fun with their dogs with, I really wanted to make something that was inspired and that made these owners and their dogs feel, if not one of a kind, just one of a few. There's so much stuff out on the market these days that's made in mass, overseas. And because we're a local brand, I wanted to really make it feel local, and I wanted to make it feel small. So, yeah, all of our bow ties are numbered. They're all part of a collection. People will know exactly how many other people in the world have the same style as them.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's like building a little bit of a community within a community.
That's fabulous. That's very, very cool. Now, you also have something called Buggsly times Pop. Am I saying it right?
Buggsly X Pop, yeah.
X Pop. Okay.
X-Pop,
tell us
totally.
about that.
Well, honestly, Buggsly X Pop was really just me wanting to play dress up with my dog.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. But no, it was really a way for us to bridge the gap between dogs and their owners. I like to think about, Buggsly as being my little buddy. I'm assuming you think the same of Jasper?
Absolutely. And Sophie, too, our dog that we already had when we got Jasper.
Oh, she needs a bow tie, too, then.
Well, maybe she does. We'll have to talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
Thank you.
But no, dogs are like your little buddies, they do everything with you. And Buggsly X Pop, which is a line of matching bow ties for both dogs and their humans, it's just something cool for the guys to do with their best friend.
Absolutely. And, I saw on your site, on the blog, that you recently had a little soiree with your friends where everybody came dressed in matching bow ties to their dogs. And it was like a little dinner party or something, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We hired a couple of our friends who are photographers, and we got a bunch of our other friends together, and yeah, we did exactly that. We played dress up with the dogs and shot the whole thing. It was funny. It was kind of like being at a wedding, except there were dogs everywhere.
I love it. I love it. So now another thing that Buggsly is doing that I thought was interesting is your sort of new black label, where you're using this innovative technology with very smart, sort of dapper, cool design to launch these dog jackets. Tell us about them.
Sure. Well, as you may have heard, it rains a lot here in Vancouver. And so when we first got Buggsly, he was an absolute chicken with going out in the rain. And we got him in the middle of February, which is our rainiest season here. Mm-hmm. So, he would go outside, he would plant, and he wouldn't move. So we immediately started looking for jackets that were out there, and we really just couldn't find anything that had all of the qualities that we wanted in a dog jacket. So what we did is we started looking for a fabric that was waterproof, most importantly, but we also wanted something that was windproof just to make sure that, Buggsly was dry all the time. So we found this really cool material that is actually made from recycled content. In particular, they make a lot of it from recycled water bottles. So this fabric itself is super environmentally friendly, and we crafted that into a dog jacket. So it has all of the characteristics that we were looking for: waterproof, windproof, breathable, and it also looks really great.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, have you checked out the pictures of the reflective binding that's around the perimeter?
Yes, I looked at the video too, so you really get to see it in the video. And it's really, from a safety perspective, it's great, but it also is very cool looking. And the color choices are beautiful. Tell listeners about the color choices. I just want to interject too that listeners will be able to see pictures of all this on the Bark and Swagger page of the Pet Life Radio site, so you can know what we're talking about. And if you're interested, you'll be able to go and check it out on Buggsly's site and purchase. But tell us about these beautiful colors that you decided on.
Sure. Well, like I said, I really wanted to make a jacket that looked really awesome, and part of that is, a common theme, I guess, in this interview is that I like dressing up with my dog. And so when we were picking colors for the jackets, I wanted to make sure that they were colors that, I would wear and other people would wear. Mm-hmm. So we started looking at the human world of fashion, and we started looking at what colors were really making an impact with human wear. And we picked some really awesome colors. Of course, the black, because that will always be the black label jacket. And we also have a Sai, which is a really nice deep purple color. We have deep lichen green, which is just like it sounds. It's basically like being in a forest. It looks really awesome. We have carafe, which is brown, just like coffee. Mykonos blue is my favorite one. It's like pretty much a deep ocean blue. And then we also have Samba Red, which has been one of our more popular choices, and that's just a really bright, vibrant red.
Yeah, they are really lovely shades of each color. The blue is very, very beautiful, and so is the purple. The violet is really cool. Yeah, and shades of purple are really popular in 2014 because Radiant Orchid is the color of the year. So
I didn't know that. Now I do.
Yes, yes, it is.
Perfect. But yeah, all of the colors have pop, and that's what we wanted. We want people to look at these jackets and to want to wear them themselves.
Exactly. Well, I want to learn more about how humans are even more included in what you do with Buggsly and some of the other things you're doing, and then some of the wonderful things I've seen on your blog I want to talk to you about as well. But we're going to stop for a short commercial break, and we will be right back.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
Hi, this is Tim Link, animal communicator and pet expert and host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Have you ever wanted to know what your pet is really thinking? Do you want to find out if they truly understand what you're trying to tell them? Ever wish you could build a better understanding and closer relationship with your pet? Well, now you can. Learning to communicate with animals is a 4-part on-demand workshop. In the workshop, you'll learn the essential techniques that are necessary to communicate with animals, including what is animal communication, breathing correctly to achieve the perfect state to communicate with your animals at a deeper level, using guided meditation exercises and method to communicate with animals, and how to send and receive information from your animals. So if you're wanting to learn how to communicate and connect with your animals at a deeper level, visit PetLifeRadio.com/workshop and purchase and download Learning to Communicate with Animals. You'll be glad you did.
Hey Hey there, pet parents. This is Christy Vaughn, host of The Doggy Dish. Do you love your furry companion? Do you love making him or her healthy treats but can't seem to find the time? Great news. The Doggy Dish is the perfect show for you. Every episode is chock full of healthy and easy recipes that are made with ingredients you most likely have on hand. Tune into The Doggy Dish for yummy and healthy recipes for your canine kids.
Every week, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Jody Miller Young, and we're here with Cassidy Morgan of Buggsly. Welcome back, Cassidy.
Hi, guys.
Hey, so you were talking about how humans are very involved with what you do with Buggsly.com. You make matching bow ties for humans too. Are there any plans to sort of do anything else to kind of collaborate with dogs and humans? Or, are you going to expand on the bow tie line, anything like that?
Yeah, we are, in fact. My background is a menswear blogger, and so, when we started creating the line of bow ties and the line of jackets for my dog, I wound up getting a little bit jealous that he was, only a year and a half and he already had his own fashion line. So, I felt that I needed to compensate a little bit. So we are branching out more into the human bow ties. We have our Buggsly X Pop line, which is matching bow ties for dogs and their humans. And we also have the Pop line of bow ties, which is purely bow ties for humans. And, just like the Dapper Dog line, all of our Pop and Buggsly X Pop bow ties, they're all made from recycled end-of-the-roll fabric, which means that they're all limited edition.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. And in addition to being kind to the planet, Buggsly also gives back with each purchase. Tell us about your choices of where to give.
Sure. Well, the fabric that we use in our jackets, it's actually a member of the Reprieve program. And Reprieve is a family of fabrics that are all made from recycled content, again, primarily recycled water bottles. And the really cool thing about using this fabric is that it's not, us who choose where to give back all of the profit to. What our customers and consumers can do is actually go to the Reprieve website, and that's REPREVE.com, and they can actually choose where all of the proceeds get donated to. So there are
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a really great way to get people involved in, giving back to their community. So there are three three companies that they can get involved with and give back to, and those are Keep America Beautiful, which is a waste management company. There's the Conservation Alliance, which is really focused on conservation, in particular with wildlife. And then there's American Rivers, which is all about river conservation.
I love that. What a great idea, Cassidy. What a really great idea. Well, it makes sense that I found your blog so engaging because you are a blogger, a fellow blogger.
Totally. It's a great world,
yes.
eh?
I love meeting other bloggers because we, kind of have that thing in common of wanting to make whatever we're talking about really interesting to our readers and sort of help them with problems. And I love that you managed to combine this great information, like the vet story about the dangers of leaving your dog in the car in warm weather, to really fun stuff like Carter and Toby, which you have to tell listeners about because it was cuter than cute.
Yeah, I was on Twitter one day and I heard something about Carter and Toby, which was like a baby and it's their dog, and it was adorable. They actually have their own blog too.
And they're wearing matching bow ties. Was that from you guys, or just something that they kind of put on their own?
I can't take credit for it because it was totally something that they put on their own. But
that would be cute to reach out to them. Would be really good. That would be very cute.
I think so, right? And that was actually what caught my eye. I saw that picture of them wearing the matching bow ties, and I was like, hey, that's my idea.
Where do you find your material to blog about? Do you just kind of, subscribe to various things, look at other people's blogs and kind of like what we all do, or?
I'm actively engaged in our community online, and it's really neat to see the number of dog owners that are, you would know this firsthand, that are really engaged in the dog community online and also in their cities. Mm-hmm. So, I spend a lot of time on the internet just having a look at what other people are interested in and talking about, and then I take that information and add my own spin to it. But I also spend a lot of time just hanging out with Bug and doing things with him in the city, and writing about those things. I think the world of and the community of dog owners, we learn a lot from each other. The majority of the things that I've learned about, training dogs and the best care for them, it's pretty much all been learned from random people on the street that I pass by, and we start talking about our dogs and what we do with them and how we take care of them.
Absolutely. I mean, I have learned more about how to better take care of my dogs and about things that don't necessarily even relate to my dogs, but are just interesting since I've gotten involved in the dog world. It's fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a plethora of knowledge, and they're willing to share, it's great to see. It's an active community, and it's awesome to be a part of.
It's like, when parents with young children sort of meet up, you've got this common denominator that makes people smile. And I think it kind of cuts to the chase of getting human very quickly when fellow dog owners meet. So, two of my closest friends I've met because of our dogs. So
yeah, it's funny. People, when they see each other passing by on the street, they often have a guard up, and it's really difficult to just start a conversation with a stranger. But having a dog or having, as you said, a child present, it's interesting. Everyone drops their barrier, and they just instantly have something to talk about and get to know each other with.
Yeah, exactly. It's really nice. So if any of you want to join Buggsly and Cassidy's community, you can find them on Buggsly.com. You can also find the amazing fashions on Buggsly.com. Any fun events coming up that you and Buggsly are going to participate in?
Yeah, we actually were just meeting with the co-founders of Petapalooza, which is the West Coast's largest pet festival. We met with them this past weekend, and we are going to be involved in that.
Very
August.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. Have you ever been to a pet convention?
No, I haven't. I've heard there are a couple of them, and I've heard about them, but I haven't gone to any yet. But I think that it's in the cards that eventually I'm going to make my way to one. I think it's inevitable.
I heard about that, and I was like,
you'll have to tell me how it goes.
I will, totally. It sounds really cool. They have a lot of different vendors there, and they even have this thing that's called Running of the Bulls, which is a race between English bulldogs. So that should be really interesting. I'll take pictures for you.
Please, definitely. Is there a website for that? Is it just petapalooza.com or something?
I believe it's Petapalooza West.
If any listeners are interested, go for it. It sounds like a fun day. Is it one day or is it several days?
There are 2 different days. One is in Victoria, BC, and there's also one in Yaletown here in Vancouver, BC.
Very cool. Very cool. So any notable Buggsly clients, any local celebs or people that we might know?
Possibly. I don't know if you'll know them or not, but yeah, there were actually a few local celebrities and their dogs that we surprised with some of our Dapper Dog bow ties. So we packaged them together, and Buggsly, got out his paw and pen and started writing them personalized little cards.
Go Buggsly!
Go. He's a multi-talented dog. But no, we sent a bow tie to Tamara Taggart and her dog. She's a local news anchor.
Very cool.
Yeah, Claire Newell got one, and her dog, and then Fiona Forbes as well. So it's been really cool engaging with the community, but also with the local celebrities, because, they give a lot of really awesome shout-outs.
Yeah.
So, have you seen Lady Gaga's new dog, Asia?
Yes, I actually did something on Asia and Gaga on Bark and Swagger, my site.
The cutest, right?
Yes.
So I've been watching Lady Gaga and seeing where she's going, and I'm trying to get a bow tie on Asia, because I think she would rock it. She's too cute.
She would look precious in a bow tie. I mean, those goo-goo eyes, those little goo-goo eyes. And, Gaga, I've seen Gaga dress her in like necklaces and bracelets, even headpieces. Mm-hmm. But I haven't seen any actual pet clothing. So you might be in on the ground floor there.
So maybe what I should do is send her a human bow tie, is what you're saying.
Maybe matching. She might love that.
She might actually, yeah.
Yeah, and the more outrageous, the better.
That's true, actually. I'll get one of our most whimsical prints.
Yeah, exactly. Anything that's next on the horizon for Buggsly that you'd want to share with us, or just more of great bow tie designs and cool coats that I'm going to have to check out for one?
Well, both of those things. Like you mentioned, our Black Label line of dog jackets is coming out soon. We've spent months actually working on the size development of all things. So that's taken a lot of time, but I think it's going to be really awesome because our jackets are going to fit a lot nicer because of it.
Yeah.
And then, we'll always have lots of different designs coming out in our Dapper Dog line, so stay tuned for those and get them before they're all gone, because as we mentioned, they're limited edition. But we also have Yeah, we also have some really awesome harnesses coming out too, which are made from the same material as our dog jackets and feature the 500 candle power reflective binding. They look really awesome. They actually look a lot like the uniforms that they used to wear in Star Trek, if you've seen that before.
Oh my God, I'm loving the sound of it already. That's another thing I'm going to have to check out, Cassidy.
Yeah, I'll keep you in the loop with it, Jody.
Definitely. So remember, everybody, it's limited edition. So check it out, Buggsly.com. Find the one that you love. There are so many to choose from. I think there'll be something for everyone. We're unfortunately out of time, Cassidy. I've had such a great time talking to you. We're going to have to talk some more.
Yeah, I really loved it.
Yeah, I really appreciate you being on the show. And listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. You know we love talking pet fashion in all its glorious forms. So tune in next time to discover what's new and unusual. And come visit me at barkandswagger.com to find great information on fashion, accessories for your dog, and more. And remember, when fierce fashion calls, bark and swagger.
Let's talk pets every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.